Hey folks, welcome to Guitar Daily. It's Nick Granville coming to you from Wellington, New Zealand. So today I thought I'd talk about the G major scale and what I was doing in that thing there, right? So I was playing over the top of a backing track there. I'll link it below so you can practice over this. But essentially what we have is G major 7 and then D over F sharp. They've expressed it as F sharp minor, 7 flat 13, whatever. It's really D over F sharp, isn't it? And then B minor 11. So it's kind of got this Lydian thing going on in there, right? Because of that C sharp and that chord, right? And same with. So G Lydian, G major, right? It's kind of the tonality we're looking for. So the first thing to do to play over a track like this is you need to know your G major scale, right? So, and across the neck. So if we just do the shapes, shape 1. Shape 2. Three. Shape 4. And shape 5. And we're back to shape 1 again. Now I'm doing these quickly because you can slow this down if you want to go and check it out. You can also, there's heaps of this material around on the internet. So how do we kind of turn that into a Lydian thing, right? Well, there's a couple of ways. If you know that much, the G major scale in all of those positions, take every C note, make it a C sharp. Instead of that becomes, it's one way to do it. Probably the best way to do it, right? Second one. Next one. So on and so on up the neck. Now that's a really good way of doing it, right? Another way of looking at it is essentially as D major over the top of a G. Right? So it's D major, but we're starting from here now, right? Because it's G Lydian. I like that as a principle, but I also find that that's not always the best way to do it. And partially the reason is that if I'm thinking D major over G major, it's another step. And also too, I find that my perspective is not D major, it's G major, isn't it? And that it's a G major tonality, so G Lydian kind of sound, right? Right, because of, as I mentioned, that chord's got a C sharp in it, right? So it's really, I want to be thinking of it from a G perspective. My root note is G. My fifth of the chord is a D note, not the root note being a D. And there can be advantages to both, so I like both approaches, right? But really what we want to do is know this across the entire fretboard. So knowing those shapes, as I mentioned, knowing how to adjust them and being able to do that stuff. And then you've just got to put some flying hours into this. You got to do this until you're blue in the face. I find like sitting in front of the TV is actually really good for this, and I don't necessarily think sitting in front of the TV and practicing is necessarily always all that good a thing to do. But I'm wanting to get it automatic, right? So I can talk over it. So if I'm watching TV, it's like my focus is somewhere else, but I'm also running the technical part of what I need to do. Right? And then, I want to develop it, right? So I need to know all of those shapes. I need to know how to use them. And then I think that the next thing to do is to start like jumping in on it and just using it, right? The sooner you use it, the sooner you'll start making music. So to me, it's like I try and look for something simple that kind of fits the chord. So if I have this, like where are my arpeggios within that shape? So this. Right? My G major 7 arpeggio would be. I know I'm going to need that, right? Because that's part of it. Now, where's the cool note in that? With that C sharp, right? So I want to learn the arpeggio. I want to be able to see that target note of where the cool note is that's in amongst it, because there's really only one note different, right? So that one note is the note that's important to me. Now I'm talking about this all from this particular backing track, but this is how I approach every backing track that I play over when I do these little intro things. Is like I'm taking the same approach with everything, right? I want to know the material so that I'm improvising. It's a crazy thing, isn't it? Because there's this idea with improvising that it's all made up on the spot. And it's simply not true. If everything was all made up on the spot, it would sound like alien music and it would make no sense, right? I might be making it up then and there, but it's made up from things I've kind of done before. And I want to be as prepared as possible, right? I want to know that whatever happens, I can cope with it. And ultimately, I want to have something to be able to say that means something, right? So I have to know these materials in order to be able to get to that point. It's like if you've got a limited vocabulary with the English language, and then you're expected to say something deep and meaningful. Well, there's every chance you can, right? But if you've got more of a command of words, you're going to have a better chance at getting your point across in a succinct way that appeals to more people. Makes sense, right? So I'll start looking for it all over the neck and all the kinds of places. And then I'll put the track on and I kind of explore some ideas, right? And some things will work and some things won't. The things that work I keep, the things that don't I discard. And then what I'm doing is I'm looking to build on more things that work, right? And then sometimes I just kind of let go and just play, right? I'm not necessarily trying to sound good, I'm just playing. And these are all things that I do when I'm preparing, right? Then when I get on the bandstand, I forget about all of this, right? Because the homework should be done. If the homework's not done, it's too late by the time you're on the bandstand, right? So I'm forgetting about all of it and I just play and I go and I try and be in the moment, right? And I'm asking questions of myself at that point, right? Is what needs to happen? Is the groove feeling good? What am I trying to say to the people who are listening? And the people who are listening can include the band as much as the audience. Like, right, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to do? Where am I going with this? What's it trying to do? You know, sometimes I might be wanting to say something really pretty, sometimes something more aggressive and angry. Can go lots of different places, right? So once I've done all that, right, I've done positions, I've added in the notes, I've looked for where the arpeggios fit in with all of them. I also like to take an approach of going, what can I do to view the guitar in this direction? Right, the Mick Goodrem thing from that book. Right, and I'm taking an approach of this way. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a single string like that. You see there I jumped across strings, but I'm trying to take an approach of that. And all of this is just preparing me for improvisation, right? So that I can go out there and I can do what needs to be done. Because at heart, I see myself as an improviser. I don't really see myself as a jazz musician. I've got a video planned that I want to do where I want to talk about why I don't like calling myself a jazz musician. There's some good reasons, because I don't think I am a jazz musician. I think jazz is just one element of what I do. I think at heart I'm an improviser. That's why, you know, when I'm on gigs, even reading gigs, I'm still improvising. I'm making up parts. I'm trying to make it happen. That's my job. Anyway, thanks so much. If you like this, please subscribe. Please like this video because it helps, and share it with people who are into the same kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm building a community around this thing, and I really appreciate you all being here. So buy me a coffee's linked below if you want to do that. PayPal, any of that kind of stuff. It's all awesome if you want to be a part of this. I've got albums out. You can check those out. They're free on Bandcamp. Go and check out the Reamped album. That's my latest one. Man, I'm very proud of it, and it's free. I just want you to listen. That's all I ask. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow. Cheers.